So it's been quite a day for me and myself. I don't know about you guys out there, but it's been quite a day. Very eventful. And lots of good stuff, lots of weird stuff, lots of work, and just continuing to continue on. And I'm just growing more and more to the realization that God will give you exactly what you need to humble yourself when the time comes. And in the topic for today, I want to talk about how to realize that you're dealing with broken people most of the time, and how forgiveness is going to be paramount to your success in realizing this. Now, before I get started with that topic, I want to share a little a little moment that I had at the store recently. I was just getting some main items and just running errands real quick. And I happened to see a couple that does YouTube videos, and they've got multi-million, a multi-million view channel, multi-million subscriber channel. And when I saw them, I wasn't quite sure it was them because, like, they're in this town, like this little, this rinky-dinky town in northern Utah. And so I went up to them and I just wanted to say that I appreciate them and that I didn't want to interrupt what they were doing. And they were just as kind and polite and just decent in person as they seemed in their videos. And that's a really cool experience. That's a really cool experience when you see people out there that are actually walking the walk and talking the talk. And it was weird for me because I don't usually get nervous talking to people, but for some reason I got a little bit nervous going up. I wasn't nervous until I opened my mouth. And anyway, it was just nice to see good people being good people, And it made me start to think about how most of the time we're going to be realizing that, or most of the time we have to realize that we're dealing with broken people, and there's only going to be a select few individuals that truly have your best interest at heart. And it's not because they're always evil or they're always malevolent or they're always narcissistic. It's more so that they just haven't healed from their own past. And what you need to do as a person is accept that they are who they are. And that's a lot easier said than done, because a lot of the times these people out here, they don't realize how hurtful and how manipulative they can be until it's too late. And that's not always it's not always the best thing to realize when you are in the spiritual path and on the spiritual path. It's not a fun thing to realize that most of the people around you are not going to be on the level that you are in regard to self-awareness. And not a lot of people are going to accept their self-awareness levels when it comes to how they handle themselves. A lot of the times they think they're more self-aware than they really are. And that's always a period for growth. That's always a period for understanding that God will expose what they're actually trying to do and their intentions to you if you see it clearly. But here's the thing. Sometimes people will lie and gaslight and manipulate or deceive, and it's not even because they're doing it out of malicious intent. It's because they don't want to show their cards. They just want to, they don't want to be fully in the truth. They don't want to be truthful in everything that they have to say. Because if they're completely truthful, then they're going to give away what they are actually trying to get from you, which more often than not is just attention and some kind of form of validation a lot of the times. And that's unfortunate, but what are you going to do about it? You can't really control them, and the only way that and you shouldn't want to control them, really. Like, you shouldn't really want to control anybody else. Love is about giving freedom, the freedom to choose, even if that's the possibility of choosing something that is unwise for themselves. And so, know what qualities make you feel at peace around people. Know what qualities make you feel like you can live a life that is meaningful to you. What kind of characteristics around people do you value? Well, my first one is loyalty. That's the first thing I can think of, is loyalty. Loyalty can bring me peace. It's not just about showing somebody that you care in a superficial way. It's about demonstrating that even through the hard times, you can be there for someone. Because if you can't even be there for someone, then what's the use of even being in any kind of relationship with that person, whether it's a brotherhood or a friend or a business partner or a romantic relationship? There's no real point in being in any kind of relationship without loyalty to me, for some reason. Like, not even for some reason. There is a reason. It's just that the reason for loyalty is that I know what happens when you're not loyal. You almost embalm distrust into the relationship, and you create a cycle of toxicity in which nobody is actually happy. Nobody is actually, like, wanting to grow in that kind of relationship. Everybody's trying to get something out of the other. And a lot of the times these people have nothing to offer. They have nothing. They don't have anything. Especially most modern men and modern women, ages 18 to, I would say, 40 at this point, just given like the Gen Z and the millennial and whatever dynamic. I would say most of these people do not know or have the capacity to be loyal truly in relationships. And that's a tough realization to come to. Like, I think it's always been this way to some degree. Like, people are crazy, and yes, times are very strange, to quote a Bob Dylan song, but it's like, wow. It is just getting more and more crazy by the day. It's getting more and more wired in such a chaotic, unsophisticated manner that it makes you weary to even enter into the realm of communion, I would say. And that's one of the reasons why when I saw this couple at the store that has the huge YouTube channel, it was refreshing, and it was also, I don't know why. I don't know exactly why I was so nervous to go up to them, because like I said, I'm like never really nervous to talk to anybody, and I wasn't nervous until I opened my mouth. But that was a moment where what I think I was nervous about in retrospect of the situation was just that I was actually in the presence of some decent human beings that are actually trying to just create a more vibrant life for each other and for the world. You know, what they're doing, I don't have anything to hate about it necessarily, but it's not like it's definitely not deep, like deep spiritual content, that the kind of content that we have on this channel, but it still is something that is more, I would say, leaning toward the good rather than evil. And even just them thanking me for saying hi and everything like that, that was just it was a very simple, you know, I'm just passing through kind of a thing. And those kinds of interactions give me hope for humanity. Those kind of interactions give me a sense of relief to some degree, because so many people are they just don't care. They're heartless. They're soulless. They have nothing to offer. And they think they're being clever, but they're not. And it's actually kind of sad. It's actually kind of sad to see so many people think that they're a certain way and that they have all of these things to offer. But then when reality hits them and the people that they actually want in their life doesn't want them, that's when reality actually hits. And so forgiveness and self-compassion is going to be your key element in moving through life from here on out. If you can't grant yourself compassion, it's going to be very, very challenging for you to move forward in a way that is indicative of a prosperous life. And so my recommendation to you is, when you do see someone that is actually trying to put out good in the world, say hello. Say hello. Because most of these people out here are broken. And the real will recognize real. And with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful to someone out there. Be cautious, but also be courteous to yourself, and treat yourself with civility and dignity when you're around broken people. Because oftentimes, they don't even know how broken they really are. They really don't. And so you have to have the kind of self-awareness to look at the situation as a whole and think, yep, I understand this is what they're doing. I understand why this is what they're doing. They don't, and that's that. So peace be with you. Till next time.